this is Roger or Furi Splish Splash, and today we're gonna take a look into Furi. I'm doing the review playing the game on PC, and it was released on the 5th of July this year, so it has been out for some time. But it's definitely worth to talk about the game, and I will get to that pretty soon, why it is and why maybe you should consider to get the game before Christmas. This is an action game and it's very fast paced, and it's developed and published by the Game Bakers. As you may see, it also has some really cool graphics that I like, and I think they've done a really stunning job also with the audio. And if you're interested like me in sounds but also music when it comes to video games, you should know that you can get the all original electro soundtrack, which is available in digital and vinyl editions. When we start to play the game, you are captured and you're in a pretty bad situation. And pretty soon you will get to know that the jailer is the key. So in order to get free, you have to kill him. And I have to say, it took some time until I actually managed to do so. And that's a good thing. As you may know, if you know me, I am into a challenge, and I like when a game kind of kicks my butt a bit, so I have to prove myself and become better playing it. I'm using an Xbox One controller playing the game here on PC, which is a really good thing, and I highly recommend you to do so. It took some time to get used to it, and the good thing with this game also is that they've done a good combination with also the freestyle kind of playing when it comes to attacks and stuff, but also a combo when you get into the situations on the click button events, which is pretty cool. The thing though is that it took some time to get to see when the attacks are coming and when you're about to block. In some other games that is pretty obvious, but here it can happen really fast. So what I did is that I started to listen to the sound again, and I recognized some sound, for example when the jailer was about to dash you, and I could block in time, get the right timing. So that is a small tip from me to you. So after you've actually killed the jailer, you're free to go and moving further into the game, meeting different kind of enemies. Although the kind of system when it comes to beating an enemy is more or less the same, meaning that it takes definitely a few rounds before you have beaten the enemy and can move on, which I think is good. That's the part of the thing I mentioned before when it comes to having challenge of beating the enemies. So therefore, when you get into the game, be sure to have a lot of patience, because this is an ultra responsive and very fast paced sword fighting and dual stick shooting game. But if you're into it, I think you will definitely like this. There's a lot of positive sayings and reviews about this game, which I start to really understand since I've started to play the game myself, and here I am doing this review also. And I think that has to do with the great combination of the combat system, the looks of the game, the sounds, but also that there's actually something deeper into it which you will get more into when you play the game a bit more. A kind of depth in the story that might surprise you a bit, what do I know. I see people write comments when they have been playing the game. Maybe they have been into games such as Dark Souls 3 or even, you know, the new Final Fantasy 15. And they get very surprised in a positive way when they start to play this game. It's available on Steam right now, and you could get the downloadable content for the game for PC for about 15 euros. So with that said, you could start to compare this game when it comes to the combat system and the boss fights to games such as Metal Gear Solid, Devil May Cry, No More Heroes, etc. And I think that says a lot when it comes to the quality of the game and the experience playing it. Another thing that I like when I'm talking about the fights, and especially these boss characters and stuff, is that it's not a lot of, you know, long cutscenes. It's very straight into the action. You get the small kind of cutscenes in between the rounds, you might say, when you're hurting the boss more to eventually beat him. And I think that's really cool and slick. And again, it keeps up the pace of the gameplay, and I find that really amusing. So with that said, you could probably say that this is a hard game to play in an old school kind of way, which makes me, you know, want to stand up and bow a bit before the developers, because a lot of games nowadays tend to be very you know, easy, and they are towards an audience like for everyone. But again, this is a game where you have to struggle, you have to get in there and fight. You maybe have been playing Dark Souls again, and you know how it is when you die and you have to spawn all over again and do your best to get even further into the game. Those kind of feelings get to me when I play Furi. Even though it might sound weird, it's definitely worth it. And with that said, I give the game a big thumb up. Furi is also available now since December 2nd on Xbox One, so if you're playing on console on Xbox One you can also get it. And in the Xbox version now they've made some improvements compared to the PS4 and PC version, so they've improved the promenade mode and difficulty and some performance tweaks, as well as a complete new boss fight, so you actually get some extra content in there as well if you're playing it on the Xbox One. So if you're into it before Christmas and you want a challenging game that requires skills, reflexes, like no button mashing or combo learning, but you need to wait for your adversary to show an opening to fight back, then definitely Furi is something for you. And it's also kind of cool because the default difficulty is Furi mode. And if you beat the game in Furi mode and you'll unlock Furi difficulty, which is hardcore, beat it in Furi and you'll unlock a speedrun mode where you can compete against time or number of hits, and they also have a leaderboard. So again, it kind of appeals to the very competitive side of me also when it comes to gaming, which is really sweet. And there's also, as we mentioned, a promenade mode that is easier if you want to get into that as well. I put the link in the description to Steam when it comes to Furi if you want to check it out and maybe purchase the game. This is something that you can definitely have fun playing during Christmas, and maybe you want to get up there on the leaderboard. If so, good luck, fight your way through, and as I told you before, be patient. It takes some time to get into the game and actually get good at it. I'm not really there yet, but I'm doing my best, getting there soon.
Reviews like this one are created thanks in part to the support of spectacular viewers like yourself. To make sure you don't miss out on anything we do, like, subscribe and hit the bell icon. If you wish to support us even further, you can subscribe to our other channels, the podcast That Beautiful Life, use our Amazon affiliate links, or donate to our Patreon. Links to all are in the description below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.